Whether you're watching live or on replay, welcome to Thought of the Day. My name is Andrea Sampson, and I'm the CEO and founder of Talk Boutique and the Thought Leader Academy. And today's thought is, what do you stand for? A friend of mine years ago used to have a little plaque in her kitchen that said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. This made an impact on me. I remember at the time kind of laughing, but then asking myself, what do I stand for? Now, I've always been passionate about whatever work I've been doing, from early on in my career as a fundraiser to moving into marketing and advertising to now being in thought leader development. But I started asking myself, what was the through line for all of it? Well, initially, as I started to develop what I was going to be talking about in the world, a thought came to me that I was creating impact by helping experts and change makers articulate and share their important messages, helping them to become thought leaders. And this was important because I was doing that work. That was absolutely true. But the more that I started to share this message openly and and had others starting to ask me questions about it, I started to discover a little more about myself. You see, it's really interesting what happens when we say things out loud to other people, especially when they're asking us questions. We often surprise ourselves with what we say. Those responses are really important. What's happening is that it's our own sort of innate part of ourselves answering with what we actually know to be true about ourselves. And this is important in refining our core thought leadership message. For me, I started to understand that because of what I do as a thought leader coach, I actually had my own thought leadership to share. And the more I was asked about my own message, the more I was able to hear myself and feel when I was truly hitting on my own why. And when what I was saying was true, but didn't fully align with my own values, my own core thought leadership. It's an iterative process to define this message, and I've gotten closer and closer to my own core thought leadership, a message that I align with, that I believe in, and that I'm truly passionate about. In fact, it is why I created the Thought Leader Academy. It's why I work with thought leaders every day, and it's why I'm writing a book about thought leadership. Our emotional connection to our message is essential because it helps us define that message, and it helps us to really know when we've hit on it. We need to feel our messages intellectually, yes, of course, but also emotionally and even physically. For me, when I hit on my message, and even when I say my message, I feel it in my gut, as many of us do. We know it's true, we feel it there. But I also feel it in my heart because it's something I am so passionate about. I feel the truth and the importance of my message and know when I'm showing up fully in my own thought leadership. Now, that thought leadership that I've come into still sounds a lot like what I said initially. I help experts step into their own power as thought leaders by defining their core message, building and aligning to a values based brand, and cultivating an engaged community who supports and amplifies them. So that part still sounds very similar to what I said earlier. But here's the piece that really started to build and iterate for me. So why do I do that? Well, why is it important for them? So that piece got added along the way. So it's important that they're able to use their influence, create impact, and earn their income, adding their diverse thought leadership. Here's a piece that came later, to the co-creation of a future that is sustainable and inclusive and represents all who live within it. I remember when I hit on that hit me in my own gut and in my heart because this was the through line through my whole career. I always wanted to contribute to a future that looked a little different than the present that we have. Why? Well, I think we can all agree that the present we have could use some help. And what I know is that my message and the message of those I work with is helping to change that future. And to me, that's the most important thing I can be doing with my life. And quite frankly, it is my message because I want others to see that their voice, their message needs to get added to the co creation of that future because it is co created and it's co created by the thought leaders who are using their voice to instill their message. That's what I stand for. Well, what about you? What's your core thought leadership message? If you know it, go ahead and drop it below. And if you're working on it, we'd love to help you. We've got lots of amazing tools and frameworks and even coaching to help you define your core thought leadership and all the pieces that go along with that. Check out our Thought Leader Academy because it is there to help you not only in building your core thought leadership, but also in building a personal values based brand and cultivating an engaged community who supports and amplifies you. And don't forget to join our mailing list to hear about our next workshop. And if you're in the Toronto area, I'm so excited to invite you to join us at our upcoming Talk Boutique Salon series. Our next event is on June 13th, and I'll be taking the stage to share my message. I'd love to meet you and even get some feedback from you. Check out the link in the comments below. And don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube so you don't miss any of these thoughts of the day. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll meet you right back here tomorrow for another thought of the day.